Tanse, I'm Krisanachkite. Welcome to APTN National News Daytime on this Friday. It has been 2 years since the remains of Candy Pritchard were found in the Red Pheasant Cree Nation, with still no arrests made. Saskatchewan RCMP is now renewing their calls, asking for the public's help in the investigation. According to RCMP, on February 5th, 2024, the remains of 44-year-old Candy Pritchard were found in the Red Pheasant Cree Nation. Additional evidence was also found in a treed area along a roadway in the First Nation. RCMP deemed her death as suspicious, and RCMP's Homicide Investigation Unit was called to take over the investigation. More than 2 years later, no charges or arrests have been made since Pritchard's remains were found. RCMP say even the smallest detail could make a huge difference in the investigation. In a statement, Candy Pritchard's mother, Lorna, added, "2 years ago, our lives were forever changed when my daughter was murdered. The silence since then has been unbearable. Someone knows what happened, and we are pleading for that person or persons to come forward. My daughter deserves justice, and our family deserves peace. She was a caring, loving daughter, mom, sister, and grandma. She never got the chance to meet or hold her 2 grandsons." If anyone has information on what happened to Candy Pritchard, you are asked to contact RCMP at 310-RCMP or call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. The Red Pheasant Cree Nation is located about 40 kilometers south of North Battleford in Saskatchewan. 1 person has died, another person is in critical condition, and 1 person has been arrested following a double shooting in a First Nation in Alberta on Wednesday morning. At around 12 a.m. Wednesday morning, Musquechee's RCMP were called to a home in the Louis Bull First Nation for a reported shooting. When Mounties arrived, they located 2 men with gunshot wounds. 23-year-old Zion Little Poplar was declared deceased on scene. A 54-year-old man was taken to the nearby hospital before being airlifted to another hospital. The man remains in critical condition but is stable and is expected to live. RCMP later located an abandoned vehicle believed to be involved in the shooting. RCMP's air services, a police canine unit, and emergency response services were brought into the Louis Bull, and a shelter in place was advised for residents. About 3 hours later, RCMP located and arrested 3 suspects. 2 were not involved in the shooting and were released. 27-year-old Dallas Daniel Lee has been charged with second-degree murder and attempted murder. Lee's first court appearance was on Thursday in Wetaskiwin, and he remains in custody. RCMP believed that Lee and the 2 victims were known to each other and that it was a targeted incident. Louis Bull is located about 90 kilometers south of Edmonton and is made of several First Nations in Musquechees. Thursday marked the 4th day of the inquest into Aisha Hudson's death in Winnipeg. Testifying yesterday was Constables Sylvester and Carnegie as witnesses. APTN's Julia Ross reports.
Constable Pradnuk's partner, Constable Serge Sylvester, testified today, along with K-9 officer Constable Ian Carnegie. Pradnuk testified yesterday that he was unable to tell the effectiveness of the 2 shots fired at Aisha Hudson, and that the second shot was fired after Hudson's vehicle began to move forward after reversing. Constable Carnegie says he filed a use of force report as he used an empty-handed control to pull Miss Hudson out of the vehicle to arrest her. He says that she was not responding to commands to exit, resulting in her being pulled out of the vehicle. Carnegie testified that he was not aware that Hudson had been shot, and when he noticed an injury to her nose, he believed it was from the collision between her vehicle and the pickup truck that ended the pursuit. Carnegie says he called an ambulance and was told after arresting Hudson by Constable Pradnuk that shots had been fired. Pradnuk began first aid after identifying the wound and began CPR when Hudson became unresponsive. Constable Sylvester testified that he had been pulling on a door handle on the driver's side of Hudson's vehicle when she began to reverse towards him, resulting in Pradnuk's initial shot. Carnegie says that no one voiced over the radio to abort the pursuit. Both Carnegie and Sylvester testified that there is no training that could be done to further prevent similar tragedies from happening in the future. Julia Ross, APTN National News, Winnipeg.
A delegation of Canadians has landed in Greenland in a show of support amid U.S. ambitions to take over the autonomous island. Their arrival comes just hours ahead of the opening of Canada's first Greenland consulate. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports from Nuuk.
Cool, we're in Nuuk.
Ida Saunders is one of dozens of Canadian Inuit landing in Greenland ahead of the opening of the first Canadian consulate since the Second World War.
Historically, we've always been close. We just never had to state it to anybody before, I suppose.
We are one people. That's the message the Inuit on this charter flight are sending. Many see ties between Donald Trump's threats to take over Greenland with both his 51st state threats and their own history of colonization.
All the current events involving Donald Trump have been very insulting to all Inuit everywhere. I think they've insulted me. And I wanted to just show my solidarity with the people of Greenland.
She just had her baby, so she came to the airport to greet me.
Atlas. His name is Atlas.
Friends so close, Hilitaguna calls Atlas her Canadian grandson.
Inuit that are, impacted by borders, but not like we're breaking down those colonial borders, which is amazing.
Atlas's mom says she's worried about Trump's threats and glad Canada is opening a consulate.
I really appreciate as an Inuit from Greenland, and I really love they showing their support.
While Atlas's father isn't so worried.
I see those videos of Trump on social media, and I see them, I listen, but I don't take them seriously.
Canada's Governor General and the Foreign Affairs Minister arrive here on Friday to officially open the consulate. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Nuuk, Greenland.
Suicide Prevention Week is this week in Quebec. Suicide has been a major issue in Indigenous communities as suicide rates remain high. APTN's Stephanie DeSev has this touching testimony.
So, I've been dealing with suicide most of my life.
Mary Nakwanekapo lives in Wab-Markstow, an isolated community near James Bay in northern Quebec.
Why did you go?
Suicide took her half-brother and half-sister, as well as her cousin, a musician whose talent once brought joy. At age 13, she had to help her mother, who suffered from schizophrenia.
I was trying to stop her to end her life, and I had no clue why I was dealing with this alone.
Nakwanekapo also carries the heavy burden of prejudice against mental health.
There's a lot of stigma with mental health, especially my mom being schizophrenic, me being bipolar.
In 2016, her living conditions were difficult, and she made several attempts.
I tried to get through the night, and going to social services and going to the police, I did that in 2016 and ended up at Douglas Hospital.
Last August, Mary had the names of her children tattooed on her arm to help her through difficult times. It was the suggestion of a nurse.
When you're in that mood or in state, look at those tattoos and see why you're fighting to be here.
She is 49 years old and she is sober since 2018. This battle has long been a daily struggle.
I still have panic attacks to a point where I'm always staying home.
Nakwanekapo believes that community support services are inadequate.
I think what we need is more AA meetings or support system, more treatments, detox centers, and the community.
If more services were in place outside of Montreal, she would avoid travel outside the community and having to face the loneliness of the big city. If needed, she knows that talking makes her feel better.
I reach out to my friends, my coworkers, kudos to them.
Nakwanekapo believes that listening can make a big difference. One she also wants to make on social media.
I share daily on my Facebook my struggles just to help someone, like, say they're not alone.
Stephanie DeSev, APTN National News, Montreal.
A First Nations mother is following her dreams one flight at a time. That story after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. A woman from the Opaskwayak Cree Nation in northwestern Manitoba is ready for takeoff.
There's no other feeling in the world when you accomplish your dream, and I'm living proof of that.
Kimberly Ballantyne is officially the first woman from her community to earn her commercial pilot's license. Ballantyne says it's a dream she's been building towards since falling in love with aviation as a child. But the journey to the skies was not an easy one. The single mom had to drop out of ground school 9 times due to funding issues. On her 10th attempt, she won a scholarship, and in 2021, she became the first woman from her community to get her private pilot's license. Now she has some additional training to complete, but is hoping to eventually work for a Manitoba airline.
Once I began to learn more of what the airliners do for our northern communities, it made me that much more motivated to be part of it and to, exactly that, show others that Indigenous people belong in these positions as well. You just have to have the motivation and discipline to follow through, because it's a lot of hard work.
Ballantyne hopes her story can inspire others, particularly Indigenous women, to pursue a career in the industry. She'll be offering career advice at the Manitoba Aviation Conference and Career Fair. That will be held from February 23rd to the 25th in Winnipeg. A northern Saskatchewan community is taking steps to support mental health. From physical activity to interacting with NHL alumni, residents can look forward to a series of community events. Lac La Ronge Indian Band is hosting Health and Hockey Days to promote community connection and build a positive hockey culture. From February 5th to the 8th, events will be held in Stanley Mission, Grandmother's Bay, Sucker River, and La Ronge. Activities include a visit from some NHL alumni, a replica Stanley Cup, and a free try-goalie session. Former NHL players Brian Trottier and Rich Pilon will join a wellness advocate for community visits, offering hockey activities, storytelling, mentorship, and mental wellness education. Chief Tammy Cook-Searson said in a statement, the program is designed to support youth and families through activities that promote both mental health and well-being. Our host Kim Sullivan is in Wendake in northern Quebec City this week for a in-community episode of Nouvelle Nationale. Kim, tell us what can we expect on the show tonight?
Hey, Creason. Well, the general consultation and public hearings for Bill 1 in Quebec pertaining to the Quebec Constitution happened yesterday. This is a controversial bill, and many Indigenous leaders are speaking up against it. We will share more on that tonight. We also have highlights about Suicide Prevention Week, and we have our beautiful candid interview with Senator Michelle Odette. That is all tonight, 6:30 Eastern.
Thanks so much, Kim, and good to see you out of studio. We now want to tell you about this week's third web poll question. Over on our website, we ask, do you feel the drug crisis in your area is getting better or worse? You can answer better, worse, unchanged, or unsure. Go to our website at www.aptnnews.ca to have your say. The question is on the right-hand side of the homepage. We'll post the results next week. A young First Nations woodland-style Cree dancer has gained a huge following on social media. He also recently got a chance to be on the Jennifer Hudson Show. That interview after the break. Don't go away. Will Island for staying with us. Halifax -4, Charlottetown -7. Nain -21, Happy Valley Goose Bay -7. -17 in Saguenay, Gaspé -9. Ottawa -11, flurries in Toronto at -5. Snow in Elliott Lake at -3, Wawa clear skies and -14. God's Lake -25, Thompson -30. Winnipeg -16, Barons River -22. -9 in Yorkton, partly cloudy in Regina at -11. or pardon me, -1. Stony Rapids, -30. Buffalo Narrows, -13. Cloudy in Peace River at 0. Fort McMurray, -5. Partly cloudy in Calgary, 8. Red Deer, 4. Tofino, 10. Vancouver, 9. -15 in Fort Nelson, Prince George, +6. -13 in Beaver Creek, Whitehorse, -2 in snow. Wati, -26. Wrigley, clear skies, -20. Sax Harbor, -29. Colville Lake, -35. -33 in Baker Lake, Chesterfield, -28. And Arctic Bay, -33. Resolute, -34. Our next guests are a son and mother duo who have been traveling on the powwow trail, sharing their culture along the way. Desiree Denemy, who is from the Pixies Cree Nation in Saskatchewan, and her son Baby Opie have been dancing and singing at powwows and round dances since Opie was a baby. For Denemy, her First Nations culture and ceremony is so important to her and her family, and having her son Opie learn his culture at a young age exemplifies that even more. Baby Opie has since gained viral popularity for his traditional woodland dancing and singing and is known as a little warrior on the powwow trail. He recently made an appearance on the Jennifer Hudson show, where he got to do an interview with the host, share some of his traditional singing, and even got to share some of his dance style. We recently spoke with Baby Opie and Desiree Denemy. Here's that interview. Desiree Denemy and Baby Opie, thank you both for being here. Baby Opie, let's start with you first. Can you tell us about all the cool things you got to do on the Jennifer Hudson show?
So Jennifer Hudson told me to introduce myself. I had so much fun. Went to the hallways. I felt really good. I had the best time.
It sounds like you were treated to a rock star experience there, hey?
Yeah.
That's awesome. We got to see part of your interview and we were all very proud of you seeing that interview. And Desiree, for you, seeing your son Opie not only do the interview with Jennifer Hudson, but also singing and dancing, how did all of that make you feel?
Incredible. Honestly, I am so proud of my son, Baby Opie. He never ceases to amaze me. He just steps forth and uses his voice and dances. As a parent, I'm just on the sidelines watching. I just trust my children that they're gonna just do. I don't know what they're gonna do. Sometimes I don't know what he's gonna say or anything like that. But he always ends up just like blowing me away. I'm incredibly proud, and it's literally what I had said on the Jennifer Hudson show was that it's healing to see my children step forth in their culture to sing and dance. It just absolutely makes me beam with pride, and I couldn't be prouder.
Yeah, definitely for us too. Watching Opie doing everything that he's doing, we're all very proud of him. Back to you, Opie. Can you tell us how it makes you feel when you wear your regalia and sing and dance at the powwows?
Feels so good. Makes me feel comfortable. Feeling so good. Feeling in my outfits are healing.
Do you get a lot of people that come up to you and want to take pictures with you as well?
Yeah.
That's awesome. And Desiree, have you been teaching Opie about culture and ceremony since he was a baby? Can you tell us how important your culture is to you and your family?
It's incredibly important. I really feel the way that my children step forth and have the confidence and are excelling the way that they are is because they don't know any different. So it's natural for them to sing and dance because they've been doing it their entire lives. And that's what I want to, that's what I wanted for my children. And that's what I encourage for our relatives, to encourage our children, not just our children, but even ourselves, for us to step forth, because we are natural role models and we're going to lead the way and bring our children along with us. And this is just the way that they just naturally pick it up and step forth and sing and dance. And I'm so proud.
Oh, that's great. And bonus question for you, Desiree. How did you and Opie end up on the show? How did that all happen?
I had on my Instagram, a producer from the Jennifer Hudson show had seen a couple of videos of Baby Opie. Baby Opie, I have, I'm the administrator or like the moderator of, we just take so much videos of him singing and dancing, and I made an Instagram account with just like all the pictures and things like that. I just share that on his Instagram, and a lady messaged me, and then she was a producer from the Jennifer Hudson show, and she asked if we would want to have Baby Opie on the show, and so we did a Zoom call, and they just asked him a bunch of questions, and then just the week before we did it, because we filmed it last week, it aired today, or February 5th, and they said, okay, yeah, we want you on the show. There'll be plane tickets for you and all your children, because it wasn't just Baby Opie, it was also my older children, Ayana and Jason, who were asked to dance and were interviewed, and we just went on it was just like literally 2 days after they asked me, it was just like that, and then we just went, and it was a wonderful experience. We got to go and see LA, and it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Ever deadly, the power of social media, hey?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And Opie, you have a lot of fans on social media who are so inspired by everything you do. What do you want to say to all of your followers and fans out there?
I want to say thank you for seeing me dance, show my style. It feels so good feeling all the people watching me dance, because I thought I was just gonna have a little bit of people watching me until I have all these fans and suddenly start watching me. I feel so happy.
That's great to hear. Last words for you, Desiree. What is your message to other young families out there who want to get their kids involved in powwow?
You know what? It's not easy to step forth, but I encourage you to step forth anyways. And I mean, get your hands on learning how to make regalia, learning how to sing, learning how to dance. There are a lot of resources, especially in different communities, that are offering this, and all in online as well. There's amazing amount of people who are creating, singing and dancing, sewing, beading, quilling, and they're all showcasing and teaching, and they're willing to teach. And so utilize the resources out there, and us as parents, us as the adults, have to lead our children. We have to show them, and that means that we have to step forth, right? And because our kids will pick it up naturally. I just think that's what I would send. My message would be just to step forth and lead your children there.
Desiree Denemy and Baby Opie, will have to leave it there. Thank you both so much for taking the time, and keep making us all proud, Baby Opie.
Thank you so much.
And that's your daytime newscast for this Friday. Dennis Ward is back for your evening newscast in a few hours. Please join us then. APTN National News Daytime will be back again on Monday, same time, same place. Miigwech masicho, hi hi. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Ekse.